welcome back. I'm actually finally going to continue with this. From what I can see from all the messages and all that, it looks like the game's getting some updates. Apparently 1.06 is coming soon to fix a lot of the problems with 105, but until then I'm just going to run on 1.02 until I know that this is 100%. So I'm actually going to continue now even with the older build. Hopefully it's I just hope it works. Okay, I'm not gonna get into that.
Pilot, listen up. Our attack against the Sheathen warships that passed through our jump node blockade has turned into a total failure, and we lost 12 combat spacecraft in the process. We're not taking chances, so we are rushing another strike force to eliminate the immediate threat. This time the Sheathens will not find us unprepared.
Well, we always say that.
Apparently, the warships we were looking for were the only Sheathen units still left in Delta Serpentis. Our previous strike force reported the presence of a Kane-class cruiser, the alot, 3 as rail transports and a number of deactivated combat spacecraft. The first strike force was wiped out on approach before it could react, so we suspect that the Sheathens are taking full advantage of the asteroid field environment by hiding patrols amongst the asteroids, ready to ambush us at the moment's notice. They may be employing the same tactic experienced by the 144th and 151st during their strike on the Megalodon, the pincer attack via micro-jump at close range. Once again, Sheathen strategies are outmatching our own.
That always happens.
Your designations for this mission will be Data and Iota. Your task is to patrol ahead of our bombers, eliminate all immediate threats and pave the way for the main strike force. Eliminating enemy fighters is a top priority, but it is also important to take care of any anti-fighter batteries. Given what happened in the Megalodon engagement, we require you to be ready for any unexpected development.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Kappa, Lambda and Omicron wings from the 148th Resurecta will form our bomber force. They will be sorted to eliminate the Sheathen warships as soon as you secure the area from all enemy fighters. Lambda wing is comprised of the new GDB Zeus class bombers, so you'll have a good chance to see this new addition to our fleet in action. Launch is in 10 minutes. Pilot dismissed.
Okay, so destroy the blockade runners and destroy any other Sheathen targets. Seems simple enough. But we got not much to work with. Huh. I would have loved to have had an Athena bomber for this, but oh well, that's just the way it goes. I'm gonna go with my usual strategy for this one. Yeah. Prometheus and Banshee. Let's go.
I'll get this transmission out even if it's the last thing I do. I have to warn any further strike wings about those hellish. Damn it, it's coming back.
Yo, look at that thing. It looks amazing now. Whoa. Oh, but no
We're
good.
in command. The Sheathen warships are within range. Watch your back, pilot. The Sheathens must have patrols nearby. Sensors are picking a previously unreported unit. There's a disc freighter approaching the site. Designation Bandersnatch. Reading a small wing of succubus fighters on an escort pattern around the disc.
So
Keep your
destroy the
eyes
transports.
open. We lost 3 full wings during the previous strike.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might have gone with something a
What
bit
can
quicker.
be worse than a Mandragora torpedo swarm killing thousands? Definitely not a challenge I want to participate in, alright? See if we can destroy those deactivated spacecraft before it's too late. Spotted a second disc freighter. with 2 Hydra fighters as escort. This means that there were more Hydras in this system than those that attempted to force our blockade. All pilots, listen up. The deactivated Shivan units are gradually starting to regain power. Eliminate them before they overwhelm us. The transport is undocking from a Shivan warship. The IAM is in full operational status now. Watch its turrets. Transport destroyed.
There you are.
Taking damage. Request cover.
Yo, that was close.
Contact with the 3rd district
Oh,
and the jet core
shit.
confirmed.
That's fine, I'll go for the
Our
next one.
transport has escaped. Continue to fire on the alot. The warship's spotter escort has been wiped out. 2 Shivan transports have escaped. We've eliminated this.
Taking damage. Request cover.
Is that the other one?
Looks like we've got company. Reading fighters headed this way. The Kane-class cruiser has been destroyed. Nice work. 1 Shivan warship eliminated and 3 to go. Confirmed. Be ready to engage. Second large fighter down.
Check your 6, pilot.
Where you going? Where you off to? Come here.
Taking damage. Request.
Did you see that? What? Where? What are you referring to? There's a Shivan fighter attacking us, and my sensors don't reveal it. I can only see the fighter with my bare eyes. It's stealth? Are you sure, pilot? Of course I am. I can't do 2 of them now. Shivan stealth fighters. Evade them and counterattack. We'll get to the bottom of this. All Disk freighters in the area have been neutralized. Stealth fighters everywhere around us. Command. Proceed your attack on the Resurecta. Pilot. Eliminating the cruiser is a primary objective. Stay calm and don't lose your focus.
Jeez.
Roger, sir. On our way.
Demon and Moloch has sustained moderate damage. Carry on with the offensive.
Grief, it's amazing how they can keep hitting me like this. Oh, that's why it's a cloaked fighter. That son of a bitch.
Command, we have down the stealth fighter. I confirm it's unlike any other class seen before.
I'm so surprised I haven't seen any capital ship assets. Oh no.
Keep pounding the lid. It will soon be history.
Hopefully.
Rearming complete, sir.
These slithers take a lot of firepower to kill these things. Take out their missile launcher.
Losing system. Help me out.
What the fuck? I've never lost this much health ever in a game. I've been destroyed, but this is ridiculous. Oh, that's not good.
We are analyzing the data concerning the stealth fighters who are battling with pilots. Expect an update very soon. Pilots, we are rushing our bomber wings to eliminate the Sheevan forces. We're confident in your capability to escort the bombers to their designated target. Acknowledged. Command.
Hull taking serious damage.
This is Capital entering the field of engagement. Pilots, form escort and protect us from incoming enemy fighters. We are well aware of the new enemy presence in this sector.
It's about time the bombers arrive, man. Good
Capital.
grief.
All pilots, protect the bombers at once. The Sheevans will do everything they can to stop our run.
Roger that, sir.
Many stealth fighters are approaching the bombers. Don't let them get closer or the operation may fail.
Engaging in.
The Sheevan warships are moving. What does that mean? They must not escape. Form up on the bombers and swarm these blockade runners at once.
As long as I've got missiles, I'll be fine.
Hull taking serious damage.
The Sheevan stealth fighter has been designated as Al-Qaeda. We haven't processed all information yet, but we believe it may be vulnerable if struck from above or below during its maneuvers. The Majura has been obliterated. Half the Sheevan warships have been destroyed. Keep it up, pilot. Bomber down. Let's keep pounding the Triarchos. People, we need to take down that corvette. We've lost a second bomber. Mesquite and Moloch's hull integrity is nearing critical conditions. Mesquite and Moloch is going down. Stay clear. Stay clear. Watch the bombers from behind. You'll see the stealth fighters in pursuit. 4 bombers have been shot down. Pilots, intensify your cover. Only 1 warship is left. And this one's in for off. Good. It won't be long before the Triarchos is history. Chimera down.
Ooh.
Have we cleared out the stealth fighters? No, there's another one of them. Half our bombers are down.
There you go.
Protect the remaining ones. Hopefully that was the last stealth fighter in this area. This sure was a surprise attack.
I mean, that was hard.
We have successfully destroyed the Triarchos. Well done, pilots.
It's a good thing these hooks have got such high
All
armor.
warships have been destroyed. The area is clear, pilots. You may return to base for debriefing. Excellent news, people. Let's return back to the Veritas on a
With
double.
fucking pleasure.
Scout fighters will sweep the region to eradicate
Holy
any possible
crap,
remnants of the
1%.
force you have
Oh my
encountered.
jeez.
Nevertheless,
That is
major
cutting it
shipping
close.
activity in Delta Serpentis is welcome back to the Veritas,
Whew.
pilot. Thanks to today's success, we have finally secured Delta Serpentis. Although Command has ordered the deployment of scout wings to reconnoiter the region and eradicate any possible remaining Shivan positions, we can say that the system is finally safe.
Oh.
How the Shivans managed to hide a Kane-class cruiser inside that asteroid field remains a mystery. The fact that the blockade runners headed to that position as soon as they entered the system leads us to believe that the Kane and its attending fighter cache were there for a relatively long period. Also worthy of some serious attention was the presence of several Seraphim bombers equipped with Mandragora torpedoes. Considering what the Malbranche bomber wing has done in the past, the elimination of these units is a blessing. The Chimera class you have encountered during your operation appears to be a stealth fighter our sensors cannot detect. This means that pilots will mostly have to rely on primary weapons and unguided secondaries to destroy them in close combat. We believe it was these stealth fighters that destroyed the 3 wings we had previously deployed. Engineers are currently working on the data we gathered to determine if it's possible to adapt our sensors to target them. However, preliminary reports show that the Chimera has proved to have superb stealth capabilities, much greater than those of the Loki and Seshak. We did not succeed at eliminating all Israel transports, but considering the tactical situation, destroying them all before they could escape may have been very difficult. Eliminating them will be up to the scout flight. The bomber wings sustained considerable losses during the operation, and although that isn't entirely our responsibility, it was our job to ensure a safe bombing run. The mission was a success, but the loss of so many bombers was unfortunate. With the Delta Serpentis system secured, the GTD Veritas will reinforce the Mosudan Expeditionary Force headed to Ross 128. We are scheduled to jump to Ross 128 in 7 hours, shortly after the completion of the current resupply operation. Before and during the jump, the crew will be informed of our current plans to secure the system where the Shivans appeared for the first time, thus defeating our enemy once and for all.
No, Freespace 2, if only it was that easy. Justice incited by sublime creator. Cool.
Allied Advance, Part April 1st 18th, 2335 GTD Veritas Delta Serpentis, Cross 128 to 215 hours to all officers and crew of the GTD Veritas. This is Admiral Ketch Dub. At the time of speaking, the Veritas is en route to the Ross 128 system, where we will reinforce the PV Imhotep. The Imhotep entered the system 5 hours ago, and started deploying more scout wings to determine the extent of the Shivan presence. The very first reports show an under-strength enemy buildup in close proximity to the jump node, but we learned from our previous missions that the Shivans are hard to kill.
No shit.
Allied Advance, Part 2. The Imhotep and Veritas will not be the only destroyers to spearhead the current operations in the system. The task force from Laramis is scheduled to arrive in 2 days to reinforce our group. We have in fact managed to restore contact with the GTD Nerded and other vessels deemed lost at the beginning of this conflict. Stuck in the periphery systems, these units have survived the main Shivan assault and are now planning to reunite with us in Ross 128. Additionally, thanks to the supplies and replacements we received ahead of our departure, we'll be more than capable of supporting prolonged operations in Ross 128.
Well, that's helpful to know.
Allied Advance, Part 3. Our first objective will be protecting all warships entering the system while supporting the Imhotep's scout wings in their effort to reconnoiter vital sectors of the entire system. Thanks to our new wings of GDF Loki-class fighters, our scouting capabilities have been significantly increased. The newly introduced fighter is meant primarily for GDI use, but regular GTA forces, including our own, have received a complement of this fighter class. If we want to secure Ross 128, we need to locate and destroy the most important sources of command and control for the Shivans in the system. Without adequate reconnaissance, that would be very difficult to do. Shivan positions throughout the system will be subject to heavy strikes once located.
Good.
Hammer of Light declining crawl activities have been ongoing far from our position for a while. It has been weeks, in fact, since the last encounter between the Veritas and an HAL unit. I wish to inform you that official reports about the HAL coming from allied systems are promising. Following the destruction of the Lucifer, many HAL leaders and gurus have committed ritual suicide, and many others have simply vanished into oblivion. This terrorist group is far from being history, but the near total decline in faith in its ideals surely is comforting news. Volsung forces joining us in ROS 128 are screened for possible HAL loyalists, and we're counting on the full support of the PDN in keeping our operations free from Hammer of Light interference. New fighter class, GTF Loki. As you already know, the Veritas has received a shipment of Loki-class fighters. Lokis are very difficult to detect, and acquiring a lock on them is virtually impossible thanks to their low-end signature. We're going to take full advantage of the Loki's capabilities to locate major Shivan strongholds within the system, so the importance of the new fighter class is not to be understated. The Loki fills a vital gap in our force composition, effectively adding an asset that is comparable in role to the retrofitted GVX Seshat-class fighters used by our allies. For more information regarding the Loki, you may use the tech room. Newly encountered Shivan assets. Although many of our pilots have personally engaged new Shivan craft in combat, it is mandatory for everyone on board the Veritas to get better acquainted with the sum total of data acquired about these vessels. In recent engagements, we have observed a number of previously unknown Shivan assets. Some Seraphims have been confirmed to carry the Mandragora, the light torpedo capable of micro-jumping and so avoided defensive barrages. The SC Eagle and SCV Moloch are two new warships. The former is a large and fast cruiser, although not heavily armed, while the latter belongs to a completely new kind of ship. Corvettes, larger than cruisers but smaller than destroyers. Several new fighters have been encountered as well, the Succubus, Hydra and Chimera. More details about all of these ships are available in the tech room. We can only speculate about the presence of new designs. Our most plausible hypothesis is that the Shivan forces we're encountering are rear echelon units that operate behind the front line forces, and are therefore comprised of different assets. It is worth noting that the deployment of these newly encountered designs is unique to the ROS 128 front, as none of them have been seen in Rebos or Ikaya. If anything, this could indicate that the Shivan fleet in Ikaya has been cut off, unable to be reinforced.
Interesting.
Welcome to ROS 128, pilots. As you already know, the Veritas has now officially entered the system to reinforce the Imhotep as part of our effort to secure this place. Moreover, the arrival of a task force from the Ramings will significantly improve our chances of victory. At first, we'll focus on scout missions intended to locate Shivan targets in the system.
I don't know where they are.
15 minutes ago, we received a transmission from a wing of Seshat-class fighters sortied from the Imhotep. The Volsudans located an area of space marked by an irregular perimeter of strong sensor jamming. This jamming has naturally attracted our attention. The Admiral has ordered an immediate patrol of the area, and our squadron has been chosen for this task.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Your designation for this mission will be Tau. Flying the new Loki-class fighters, you will sweep the perimeter and locate any possible sources of jamming. Upon arrival, you will have to follow a series of computer-generated navigation points which will lead your wing to specific locations. The coordinates have been uploaded to your fighters, and will be shown during the mission as voice. Due to the nature of this mission and the specs of the Loki, you are advised to maintain a safe distance from any threats, as you will not be able to sustain prolonged combat. Should you encounter any Shivan units, report their extent and whereabouts to command, and wait for further orders. We are equipping your Lokis with the Phoenix V long-range missile, which should be useful for engaging enemy vessels from a safe distance. In order to maximize the effectiveness of the reconnaissance mission, Tau Wing will split in four at a preset point in your patrol. The reason why the perimeter is irregular in shape is debatable, though we assume that the sources of sensor disturbance are randomly distributed throughout the area. We do believe that this jamming is not a natural phenomenon. There are no known naturally occurring phenomena in ROS 128 that could produce an effect remotely comparable to this sensor jamming. It is probable, although not certain, that Upsilon Wing will be sortied during the mission to follow you through the waypoints and help locate the sources of jamming. Upsilon is currently busy elsewhere, but is scheduled to return back to the Veritas to resupply in a matter of minutes. If necessary, the wing will then be deployed to your position. Launch is in 6 minutes. Pilots, report to the flight deck on the double.
So reconnoiter the designated area and report any anomalies. Oh, this is gonna go down well. Yeah. Well, this will be coming up in the next breakdown video, so yeah, let's go with that. I don't know why they've been putting ML16 there, it's so pointless. Just please, can't do much with that. I don't want to keep that though for this sort of mission. Not prove useful. Alright, let's see what happens. Hopefully we don't die.
Any updates on data to S status? We haven't received an update in several hours. Judging from the last transmission, no malfunctions were detected on that fighter. Tau Wing now on station. Command. Now commencing bar patrol. The jamming may soon interfere with communications. Stay on your guard during this mission.
this guy
Tau
also
Wing.
needs a bit of an overhaul
Acknowledged.
as
Command.
well.
We'll follow the designated path.
I like what they did with the
All right,
Valkyrie
Tau Wing.
and the
We're
Perseus and
behind
all
you.
that.
It's quite ironic that the Vosutans were about to retire the Seshat from service, and now we're locating the remaining Shivan assets with it. Yeah, its original design was a total maintenance and reliability disaster. At least they managed to turn it into a Riton fighter. They saved so much space on board by removing faulty power grips that they've set up a corner where the pilot could potentially survive for months. Which is definitely not what the Loki is meant for, I guess. Alright, let's head to the second buoy. No signs of interference so far.
Probably all supposed to be splitting up.
Of all the news we have received from our systems far from the front line, I'd say the best one is that the Hammer of Light is vanishing. Tau 1 has only recently joined us. Perhaps, with all of the mess that happened, they've never got the chance to learn about our past experiences with the Hall. Our former squadron leader was shot down and killed during an escort duty by an Hull activist disguised as a regular PVN unit. All of that happened during a rescue mission of a Vosutan transport in serious danger. Our leader was risking her life to save the civilians on board, and that sacrifice ultimately led only to betrayal. If it wasn't for the Shivans, Admiral Kesdub would be giving the hell what it deserves, trust me. What was that?
We just got hit with an EMP, boys.
That's the jamming the Vosutan forces have detected. This means that we're approaching the source of the jamming. That is correct, pilot. Approach the source, but do not take unnecessary risks. We expect the jamming to become more intense from now on, so you need to stay close
Here's the
to each
thing,
other
even
until
if
the split
we
point.
play it safe, trouble's gonna
Let's
come our
head
way,
to the third buoy
regardless.
now.
It feels too much like we're walking into a trap here. God damn it. The Shivans are utter masters at going to
More
bait us.
damage.
Whoa! But yet again.
This burst was more intense than the other. We're
Yeah.
definitely approaching the source of the jamming. Be careful.
So maybe one of those stupid ready like installations of theirs. Oh god, all those communication things. That would not be cool, because that's gonna be hard to kill, especially in something like this.
Here comes another one.
Yeah, thanks for the late warning.
Where does it come from? Command, do you read us? Oh, perfect. We've lost contact with Command.
Yeah, no shit.
How can they redeploy Upsilon if they don't know where we are? I read them jumping back to the Veritas. Not until we find out where the source of the jamming is. We need to proceed to our split point, just as planned. Command can still estimate our position from our preset navigation points. What if the jamming interferes with our computer-generated voice? It shouldn't be a major issue. We may have some system buzz, but definitely not in a way that would get us lost.
Yeah, this just seems far too convenient. Definitely they're gonna have a fuck ton of resources there.
The jamming is getting serious. People, it's scrambling the coordinates of the voice. Short-range transmissions are even harder to receive. Confirmed. They don't seem to diverge that much from where they're supposed to be located. We can still do it.
Wait, hold on. No, 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 no. Look at that, they're just bouncing around.
We must be very close. It's even more intense. Whatever is generating the center jamming must be nearby.
Seriously, enough now. I think they'd be able to find a way to protect our ships better from this. I wonder if it's like some sort of a Shivan AWACS or something like that, if they'll destroy our signal. trying to prove here? I really don't know.
My sensors are picking up multiple hostile units. Jamming is still intense. I have trouble hearing you.
Ooh,
What
the
were you
demon's
saying?
loss.
It's virtually impossible to proceed. We need to jump out and inform command about the intensity of this jamming. I have visual contact with a demon and several smaller ships. One must be a Moloch corvette. There's something else I can't recognize. It looked like the train. What can that be?
Whatever that thing is, it's bugging out. What was that?
Anyone, do you copy? Can you read me? The jamming field seems gone. Command, do you read us? We're reading you loud and clear.
Oh,
Tau,
perfect.
what happened? We have deployed Upsilon to your immediate vicinity. Delmeta is also being deployed to assist. We found a Demon-class destroyer here. Designation Skelet. There are warships and escort wings all around, and one of them is of an unknown class. This is Upsilon Wing. We came as fast as we could and we're now approaching the Sheevan target. Talon, you're outnumbered. Take evasive action and wave for us to get closer. Engage the escort fighters if you can't, pilot. Our fleets are being alerted of the Skelet's presence in the system. Command, the Sheevan group is no longer immobile. The escort fighters are moving to engage, and the warships have set the course. Looks like the Sheevans have prepared a counterattack. Do not approach the warships and take down any fighters getting too close to you. The new class has been designated as a serpent. Exercise caution.
So it's based on the basilisk. Oh well,
The
either
Sheevan
way, we'll
warships
go down
begin
just the
to
same.
withdraw. Good shot, Talon. But don't stray too far, we're on our way to assist. The Skelet has launched another wing of fighters, designation Leo. It's moving to engage. The Skelet is jumping out.
Thank you.
All Sheevan warships have jumped out. Command.
Worrying, but at the same time, I'm happy I don't have to deal with those, especially in something like this. Oh, these guys are gonna feel it. See?
Tal, one shot, one down.
I'm not gonna waste a Phoenix beam missile on that. Hell no.
All Sheevan fighters have been destroyed. Command.
And not a single scratch. Wunderbar.
The area seems clear of jamming and sensor blips. Command. I'm reading a Seshat Scout. High effect designation reports it as a 2. Unable to fetch additional information. We are reading it 2. Pilot. Data 2. This is Terran Command. The area is clear and we gathered information on a large Sheevan group. Data 2. This is Terran Command. No traces of jamming are left in this area. You should be able to read us. Data 2 has engaged its subspace drives. Definitely not somebody willing to work with us. We'll report the presence of this scout to the Volsutans. Pilot, The area is clear. You're authorized to return to base. With all due respect, Command, this behavior has to be reported. Talon almost got overwhelmed by swarms of fighters. If the Vesupans were in a position to help, they should have done it. We're not saying we won't. All pilots, return to the GTD Veritas at once.
Oh well. All's well that ends well, I guess. No damage. I love it.
That was an unexpected development, pilots.
Oh.
The discovery of the ECB Skelet's location may have been favorable in different circumstances, but the destroyer and its group have literally disappeared and are now nowhere to be found. Contact with most allied units in the system has been lost, and for a moment we thought the Shivans were carrying out a massive counterattack. However, we have found out that the jamming field has been growing in both intensity and range, affecting whole regions of the system. We won't let our guard down and must be prepared for any development. Because Upsilon Wing was too far from you to help you against the Skeleton escort, the Mega Wing was quickly redeployed to your position. It's a miracle you were able to survive. Furthermore, it's very good to know that the newly encountered Serpent-class fighter is not a dog fighter, but rather a strike fighter like the Basilisk. Your ability to outmaneuver this craft is to be commended. Despite the strong jamming field, your sensor logs have proven to be very useful. In particular, our strategists are trying to obtain extremely important intel from these to better localize its source. With respect to Ada 2, the Seshat scout you encountered at the very end of the mission, we're still waiting for the Volsutans to provide an explanation. We had no reports about the Volsutans' intention of scouting the area again. No transmissions were detected from the fighter, either, even after the clearing of all jamming. We'll keep you up to date on this concern. Dismissed.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it right now. And we're apart. Then we're easily just leave that alone. Alrighty then. Whoa. What the hell is that? Huh. Okay. Doom trains. Wow. Alright, I think I'm gonna call that for this episode. Please remember guys, like and subscribe, and I'll continue to keep doing this. Comments were great on the last one, so hopefully get some more. I'm actually currently finishing up the script for my last trip breakdown for the Terrans for Freespace 1. So hopefully that should be done very soon. It's been a pretty busy life recently, but you know, we all know how it goes. Bloody rice aids out there. Doesn't help anyone. But anyway guys, I'll see you guys soon.